Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us today for our time of devotion. I hope you're doing well, and I'm glad to be with you from a beautiful spot looking out upon the Tennessee River. I hear some birds chirping. The crepe myrtle is still in bloom, and the sun is trying to peek out of the clouds today. Had a little sprinkle of rain. That was a much needed reprieve from the heat that we've had recently. And so, because I love to take you to a nature spot to remind you of the grandeur of God's creation, I do have a prayer by Cowley that invites us to think about the wonder of God's creation and our part in it. Cowley is a Christian writer from New Zealand, and this is her prayer called Gloria. Glorious are you, mystery of life, essence of all creation. You are the symphony of stars and planets. You are the music of the atoms within us. You are the dawn on mountain peaks, the moonlight on evening seas. Forest and farm, the rush of the city, everything is embraced in your love. You graced the smallness of time and place to teach us to dance to the music. You walk on our seas and heal in our streets. You make your home in our lives, revealing that cross and resurrection are one on the road to freedom. You are the wind that sweeps our senses. You are the fire that burns in our hearts. You are the needle of the inner compass, always pointing to true north, guiding us on the sacred dance into the mystery of life. We rejoice as we sing your praise. Amen. Cowley's prayer. I hope you can join us Sunday at worship, because Dr. Drew Burkley will be our guest preacher. Drew is a member of Trinity and is on faculty at the University of Tennessee here in Knoxville, a specialist in child psychology. And you might be aware that we're having this sermon series this month on the blessing of children in our lives, and looking at some biblical stories of children to see what we might learn and what we might glean from those stories today for our congregation to be more intentional in our ministries for and with children. All right, so please pray for Drew. Join us if you can, in person or online, this Sunday morning. He'll be talking about Joseph and the coat of many colors, and Joseph and his brothers, Joseph and his parents, and our relationships, how important it is to have strong, healthy relationships in our families so that our children can thrive. All right. And thank you for your many gifts for school supplies for Pleasant Ridge, and other gifts for Wesley House, and just our general ministries at Trinity. We thank you so very much for supporting us with your prayers and good thoughts and kind offerings. I want to invite you to 2 new groups if you have an interest or know someone who might be interested in these 2 new groups starting this week. On Tuesday, we'll have the grief support group, Tuesday morning at 11. It's sort of an organizational meeting, so anybody's welcome to come. We don't necessarily have to meet on Tuesdays at 11, but I just selected that time for us to get together to discuss it. I do have a book for us to consider, The Lives We Actually Have, by Kate Bowler. She's a divinity professor at our United Methodist Seminary at Duke Divinity School, and mostly we'll just share and talk and listen and support one another about grief of any kind of loss in your lives. And then Thursday afternoon at 5, we will have our chair yoga class for beginners. All right. So just wear comfortable clothing. You don't need to bring a yoga mat or any equipment. Just wear cool, comfortable clothing, and we'll have the chairs for you so we can do chair yoga safely. All right, we're looking forward to that, to help our minds, bodies, and spirits to be as healthy and peaceful as we can be. And so I wanted to share just a thought from this book by Kate Bowler as we think of those in our congregation who might need support through a loss or because of a loss. And as I said, it could be any kind of grief from the death of a loved one, or the loss of a relationship, loss of a job, or a transition from a career to retirement, or loss of good health, and maybe it's a time of transition physically, medically for people, financially. So think about that. Invite someone that you think might benefit from being with us. And as I mentioned, grief, I do ask your prayers, please, for Carol Sparks in the death of her sister Claudia, who died 2 days ago. Our prayers are with the Sparks and also families, and others on a prayer list: Janelle, Betty, Sadie, and 3 silent requests. Right, so thank you. And so feast your eyes upon the beauty of the creation, the sky, the clouds, the trees, the sound of the birds, and of course the view of the magnificent river. And so from Kate Bowler, this is one of her prayers about beginnings and endings. She says, this life is made up of so many beginnings and so many endings. We start new jobs and leave old ones. We move to new cities and leave our childhood friends or hobbies in our basements. We become new people slowly. Friends and relationships come and go. Dreams blossom and then they wither. Remind us, Lord, to turn our eyes ahead toward a new path not yet mapped. Oh God, give us courage to take a new step, and enough for the step after that too. Remind us that you have gone before, behind, and around us, and are now with us. In our leaving, in our arriving, in our changes, expected or shocking, surprise us, Lord, with who we might become. Who we might become. So let's think about that for Sunday or for any day. God's calling us to become the image of love for God's self in this great world. So be peace. May God's peace be with you, and may the blessings of God, our Creator, Sustainer, Comforter, and Redeemer be with you always. Thanks again for joining us. Hope to see you soon.